Welcome to the Songwriter Connection, the podcast that delves deep into the art and heart of songwriting. Each week, we gather around the dining room table to uncover the stories behind the songs. We invite you to join us on a journey to the creative minds of the songwriters who shape the melodies of our lives. From Nashville, Tennessee, here's your host, Dave Lenahan.
Well, there are so many podcasts out there. It seems like everybody's got a podcast these days. So I want to thank you for finding ours and spreading the word about it. Songwriter Connection podcast, and we've got a great guest today. I've got Hannah Anders with us today. Hi, Hannah. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
So beautiful and so talented.
Thank you.
Just got back from another European tour.
I did. I've been back 4 days, I think.
Well, tell us where you went and how that went.
It was great. I was in Scotland, Sweden, and Norway.
Sweden and Norway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. The weather was beautiful.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Big crowds you play for? You love to play festivals and things, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we had some festivals this time. We did some smaller venues. I played Norway for the first time on this tour. What a beautiful country.
I bet.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, it was a great tour. Great tour, yeah.
And the weather was good. Could you see the Northern Lights at night?
No, well, so this time of year, the sun doesn't really set till almost midnight.
Oh my God.
You're so close to the Arctic Circle, you don't even realize, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's a bit too much light pollution this time of year to see them. But man, that is a bucket list thing.
I'd love to see it.
I need a good winter tour.
So what's weather like? Is it warm there?
It was extremely warm. They were actually telling us how unusually warm it was. And by our standards, Nashville, it's been like being on the face of the sun for the last, several months. But so by our standards, it's extremely pleasant outside, but they don't have air conditioning in any of the buildings really. So
don't really need,
they don't need it, but they did this time. So indoors, it was a bit warm, but outside, my gosh. And even the north of Scotland, I mean, the sun was shining. It was incredible.
Wonderful.
It was incredible.
Sounds just beautiful.
It
really
was.
does.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about you.
Okay.
Here's what I found, what I dug up. You are the founder, the CEO of the Vocal Academy.
Yes.
One of the best vocal coaches here in Nashville.
Thank you.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
But also a dynamic performer. And what I love is you span the genres, right? From pop and rock to jazz and country and even R&B. You do it all, don't you?
I love it all. I mean, my focus is definitely in like country rock, but I think that I loved so much music growing up, and I studied so much music growing up, which I think most of us, if we're transparent, are not just glued to one genre. We kind of gravitate as a songwriter maybe into one genre.
Right.
But I love to sing everything, and I think as a coach, I get exposed as well because my students all want to sing different kinds of music.
And you've had some amazing students, people that have been on The Voice, American Idol, Nickelodeon, Disney, and in films and on Broadway.
Yeah.
How about that?
It's great. It's very, very cool. It's very cool. It's exciting for me to see them succeed as it is for me to succeed. I feel really, really proud to just be a small part of that.
Do you find that you learn from working from your students? I always did.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, because the thing about singing is, however many people are on this planet is how many voices you have to work with.
That's
no
right.
one is the same.
Everybody's a little unique.
Yes. And so you can think that, I've been doing this a really, really long time. And you get a student that comes in with a challenge or a voice something that you're like, that's new. And I get to help them figure this out. So they're always teaching you. Yeah. Always, yeah.
And it's cool that you help them find their voice and their uniqueness.
Yeah. I mean, there are, a sort of an unfortunate stigma that vocal coaches will sort of try to make you sound like them. And those teachers are out there. But it's really my entire purpose and everybody within the Vocal Academy is to identify why you're unique and then help you make that sustainable and comfortable,
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really admire that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you're a great performer, a very dynamic performer. You got a new song out there right now.
I do, yeah.
And we are kind of label mates, so it's a pleasure to have you.
Yes.
Heart Songs is
Heart
our
Songs,
label.
Yes.
Hi, Jill.
Hi, Jill. We love Jill. She's the best.
So let's talk because you wrote on this song.
I did.
And you're a songwriter as well.
Yes, I am.
And your new song is called Break Us. Mm-hmm. So maybe you can tell us about that, and then we'll play it.
Okay.
Once you get a chance to hear your voice.
I love that. So, what's fun about Break Us for me is it's a complete departure from the style of writing that I normally do. I tend to lean in the sort of rocky party song. It's either like I write a country rock song or I write a ballad. This sort of pop country is really different for me, but I actually wrote this song for my husband.
Yeah.
And I wrote it with Mark Addison Chandler here in town, and we actually wrote it over COVID. And so I'm just really getting, just in the way that the release schedule ended up, I just really getting a chance to push it.
Yeah.
And so it's fun because I got to sit down and think about, I've been with my husband a very long time. We've only been married for 4 years, but we've been together almost 19.
Now, you went to Belmont. Is that where you guys met? Or
I know I was in college when I met him, but he's 4.5 years older than me, so he was already out of school.
Okay.
But we did meet while I was a student there.
Wow.
And so it was fun to just sort of lean into the poppiness of it and just write a song for him. He teases me all the time that you never write any love songs. So.
I get that all the time too, and I'm like, honey, they're all about you.
Yeah, you don't want them all to be about him if you listen through the catalog.
Most all of them are about you.
All the good ones are about you.
All the good ones.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
absolutely. Is he in the music business too? Or?
He is. He's my producer. He's an incredible producer. Yeah,
Wow.
so he produces all my music. So he's got a front row seat to,
Awesome.
Are you ever going to write any love songs? Yes, okay.
You'll write a love song
I'll
eventually.
do it. Yeah.
So this one, how do you describe this one? And how did you write this one?
This one's just happiness in a song. It's we just leaned in to the happy boppy feeling of being in love. And what's really fun is when I started playing this song on tour in April, when I was out on my first European tour this year, we put it into the set list, and I have a band over in London, and a couple of the guys were like, I think this is my favorite one in the lineup this time, probably because it's just different. It's just different from everything else we're playing. So it's one of those, I say, it's a windows down summertime love song for the person that just makes you feel like a kid on the inside.
That's great. You're really big in Europe right now. And you 2 tours this year, huh?
2 this year, yeah.
And the charts there, I've seen that you've been on the charts.
Yes, very lucky that way, yeah.
That's just awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So let's take a listen. This is Break Us.
Okay.
This is our guest, Hannah Andrews, on the Songwriter Connection podcast.
But what do you say we just make a little pinky promise to rise above all the problems this world throws our way? 'Cause baby, this girl stays. Cut and run ain't in my blood, and you're cut from the cloth I love. Everybody breaks up, makes up, breaks back up again. On to the next one, same song, different damn dance partner. We just love smarter, we're made harder. Either way, we ain't leaving the other side. Old school love like this comes from another time when it meant, if you say the words, then it sticks. And I know what we're made of, so let them try to break us and watch us survive. They ain't gonna break us, baby. We a major breakup, baby. They ain't gonna break us, can't break us. Like an oak tree, patient like a field waiting on spring. Everybody breaks up, makes up, breaks back up again. On to the next one, same song, different damn dance partner. Maybe we just love smarter, we're made harder. Either way, we ain't leaving the other side. Old school love like this comes from another time when it meant, if you say the words, then it sticks. Us and watch us survive. They ain't gonna break us, baby. We a major breakup, baby. They ain't gonna break us, can't break us, 'cause they made us to survive. They ain't gonna break us, baby. We a major breakup, baby. They ain't gonna break us, can't break us, 'cause they made us to survive.
That's so awesome and catchy.
Thanks.
Just try and break us, huh?
Yeah.
Ain't happening.
No, it isn't.
Yeah. Great song. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Out there spinning everywhere, and you can find it. Hannah Andrews is our guest on the Songwriter Connection podcast. We talk about, I'm going to pick your brain a lot today.
I love it.
I want to talk about your approach to songwriting.
Okay.
How does it start for you?
Oh, goodness. Often it's a little naggy idea that just starts to sit. And for me, it's not a giant concept usually from the beginning. It's a line, it's a thought, it's a feeling. And I just kind of sit and let that, probably like all songwriters, the notes section of my phone is just, Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it usually starts as a little seed that gets planted. I hear someone say something, or I think one of the songs we'll play today is Grandma's Hands, and I got that idea literally holding my grandmother's hands as she was passing away, and I was looking at them and I was thinking of all the things they had done in her life and what they'd done in my life, and it just it locked into my brain, and I thought I've got to write that. So that's usually where it stems for me, and then I
let it percolate for a little while.
I let it, exactly. Yeah. It sits and percolates, and I sort of come up with a concept, and then I'll either work through that myself. I love to co-write, I really do. So usually I'll take some of those into some co-writes and start fleshing them out.
Yeah. Do you keep a busy schedule of co-writing? Just when you're needing?
Yes. it will pick up now. Summer, I'm not as great about doing it.
Well, you're touring.
I'm gone. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So fall is really where I'll sit down and start to hash them out again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
Yeah. It's a cozy time.
It's a cozy time. Yeah. I read about how you've got a great fan base that you've built over the years. So I wanted to pick your brain on that because I think a lot about the music business today. There are so many independents out there, and I think more and more every day, because there's songwriters that say, and maybe you have at home thought about this. This is exactly how I felt. I thought, I've got these songs and nobody else is cutting them. Yeah, I could kind of sing, so I'm gonna start recording them myself and putting them out there. What the heck? Yeah. But it takes a lot more than that to be successful, especially as an independent artist, because you're doing it all. Yeah. Luckily, we have help from Jill.
We have Jill. Yes.
I love her. She gets the word out for us. But a lot of independent artists are doing it their own way. Mm-hmm. And I don't think there's one right or wrong way to do it, but building a fan base is important, is it?
It's so important.
Yeah.
It's so important. And, I'll tell you, and it might be my age and it might be the way that I grew up in the industry, but social media is really hard for me. It feels, on one end, I'm so grateful for it. It makes the world so much smaller, and it allows us to connect with people.
You can connect with your people in Sweden,
absolutely,
UK,
absolutely. And at the same time, I am still of the mindset of I want to get out and play shows and hug people and meet them in person. And I think that some of that's gotten a little bit lost. And it's worked out for a lot of people that they can kind of build this incredible fan base through a social media platform, which I think is incredible. And people have done an incredible job doing that. For me, I will stay at the end of a show as long as it takes to hug everybody in that meet and greet line. I will hug every one of you. I will listen and shake your hand and take a picture with you. And I think that that's so important. And we've started to get into a point on the UK shows where my management team there wants to start sort of not limiting the meet and greets, but they're becoming quite long at the end. Yeah. And kind of talking about how we can incorporate maybe an extra ticket for a meet and greet or something. I'm struggling with that. I bet. Because I feel like, no, they've already bought a ticket. They've done their part. This is my part now to sit with them and within reason, because I can't be there for 3 hours, right? But but I think that's important. And when somebody writes me on social media, I respond. I don't have an intern or an assistant, or it's me. I'm going to write you back. I want to talk to you. So I think it's just about looking at that as part of your job description, but in the most positive, not in a naggy kind of a way. Like, yes, it's my job to make music and to perform and to be available, but it is also my job to, within a healthy way, a healthy boundary, be available to people whose music you're touching. Yeah. And I think that's how you keep loyal fans.
Touch them with their music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love them with your songs.
Absolutely. Because they don't belong to you anymore once you release them. I think that's a really important thing to understand as a songwriter and an entertainer, is that once you've released a song, it belongs to the people that listen to it.
Yeah.
And how
it has a life of its own.
It sure does. Yeah. And things that you write that you intended to mean something, someone else is like, will come to you and say, oh, this meant so much when this happened. And you think,
see, I always call that payday.
Yeah.
You know, when a listener comes, you know, and she goes, that song just touched me, you know, and I'm like, you know, that makes it all worthwhile.
It makes it all worthwhile. Yeah. Absolutely.
We used to call it in the radio business when I worked in Cincinnati, when I got to get out there and shake the babies and kiss the hands.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Shake those babies.
You know, you have to. You
have
know,
to.
Even if you're doing like a little writer's round.
It doesn't matter what it is.
You reach out to these people. Make eye contact as you're singing. Then if they're particularly interested, after the show, introduce yourself.
Yes.
Say, thank you for listening. Appreciate you. And I also had a really good friend of mine who I've known since she was like 11, 12 years old, who's built quite a fan following. All the shows she plays, she always has a notebook there, and she gets people to sign up for her fan list, you know?
Yeah.
And she's always reaching out to them with emails and things. There's all kinds of tricks like that you can do, huh?
You're never too important to take that time. I think people have got to understand that. We just played our very first show in Norway on this last tour. I think I said that. We played at this really cool venue, really cool, and small venue, but really cool. And we probably had, I mean, my first time ever in this country, I think we had 40 people that came into this venue to watch us play. And it's tiny. It's called Air Nelson. It's a famous, I mean, the musicians that have graced this stage in this small little venue in Norway, it was like, you just thought, oh, we got to do our part here, because this is this incredible little place. And when we got done, you know, I went around to every person in that room and introduced myself, thanked them for being there, thanked them for coming out to listen to an artist that had never been in their country before, and become a human being to them, you know, and I think that you've got to, however successful you think you are not too important to connect with people.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think back into the 90s when Garth was really big, he did Fanfare. I think they were calling it Fanfare. Then now it's CRS.
CMA.
You did the CMA Fest, don't you? Every year?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. But Garth one year stood out there for 24 hours.
Yeah, bless
24
him.
hours straight, signing every autograph.
See, if Garth Brooks can do it, you can do it.
You can do it.
That's right.
How was CMA Fest this? Did you have a great time?
You know what? I didn't do CMA Fest this year.
Okay.
I've done it many, many years. I didn't do it this year. I was in between European tours, and I was just, to use a word from my UK band, knackered. I was absolutely knackered.
What does that mean?
I was just exhausted. I was exhausted. Yeah, I love all the lingo. We're knackered. Yeah. And so I was kind of in between. I had releases coming out. I was in studio. So I didn't do CMA Fest this year, but I've done it many years, and it's such a cool, fun way to connect with country music fans. Like, what a unique experience CMA Fest is to have everyone descend on this town because they love country music.
Yeah, 100,000 people here.
Yeah.
And the big shows down at Nissan Stadium. But stages set up all over.
Everywhere.
And you never know who you're going to see.
No, it's cool.
Stars of today and tomorrow.
Yes, that's right.
It's always a good time.
Yeah.
You love playing the festivals, don't you?
I do. I love festivals. Festivals are fun because the pressure's off a little bit, in the sense that, like, people are coming to attend that festival. And so you get an opportunity to play for new people that are there to just absorb the bands, that are fans of music, that want to come around and see everybody that's playing. So they're fun in that way, because when you've got venues and ticketed shows, you know, there's a lot of moving parts, and it's really gathering your fan base and hoping to reach people beyond that circle. But festivals are great because you get to just try to grab as many new people as you can.
Just to say, you're building your fan base.
Yeah, you're building your fan base at those, for sure. They're fun.
Well, you talked a little bit about Grandma's Hands, and I want to play it. Anything more you want to say about that song?
Yeah, I mean, that is an homage to my grandmother. She was my first music teacher, my first piano teacher. She sure was.
Yeah, she taught you how to play piano and sing?
She did, yes. And she sung in church, and she was just the most incredible human. And there was not a performance or a thing that I did in my life, or any of my cousins, really all her grandkids, that she was not front and center with a video camera. I mean, she didn't miss anything. And when when she passed away, I remember as she was sort of getting old, I said she had a Bible that my grandfather gifted her as a wedding present when they got married. So it's the only thing that's got his handwriting in it that I have.
Wow.
And she said, what do you want? I don't care about jewelry, any of that. I said, I would love your Bible when that time comes. She went, this whole thing, and it's got all her notes and her stickies and her Post-its and her, I said, yes, that's all I want. She said, well, you better take it now or it's going to get, thrown away. And I have it. And and when she passed away, I went and opened it up and I just reading all her little thoughts. And I thought, I can't create anything until I write something for her. I just couldn't. And I performed it last summer for the first time. I cried at every single show. I didn't get through a single show in the UK last year without crying. But what was so cool is the amount of people after that were like, oh, I just lost my grandfather. Oh, I just lost my mom. Oh, thank you for writing this song. So we healed together,
And I imagine in the audience there was quite a few tears as well.
Oh, yeah.
Let's give it a listen. This is a powerful song. Our guest is Hannah Anders. This is Grandma's Hands on the Songwriter Connection podcast.
Brush my tangled hair to threads of gold. Put mittens on my little hands to make angels in the snow. With her I never had to sink or swim. She was always at the ready, so I could jump right in. With arms outstretched to catch me, the safest place to land. So I kept holding tight to Grandma's hands. She brought Snow White to life at 8 years old. Laid the pattern, cut the fabric, stitched up more than she could know. Held the camera up for all my milestones. While I was busy growing up, I didn't see her getting old. Wish I could click rewind, borrow some time, but now I understand why I kept holding tight to Grandma's hands. And I rely on your old Bible when I don't know what to do. Sit at your old piano, play the notes you taught me to. When all else fails, I'll sing a song to get me through. But my version of old rugged cross ain't the And I know as sure as I stand here that you can't measure life by flesh and bone. 'Cause I still feel her arms around me, even though she's gone. I'll always remember when she traced the pages of God's plan, with every verse that made me who I am. So I'll keep holding tight to Grandma's hands. So I'll keep holding tight to Grandma's hands.
Okay, I'm going to need a moment. Wow.
Thank you.
I mean, just wow. It's a great song.
Thank you.
Thank you for writing that.
Thank you.
4 people on that, right, huh? 4 co-writers, including you. 3.
3. Yeah, we had myself, Kerrigan Berry, and Chase Miller on that one. So we're 3 of us. And when I went in to cut it with my husband, who obviously knew my grandmother very, very well, I started to cut the first line, and I just had to stop because I was going to cry. And then he hit the talk back. He said, "Are you in there? Can you hear?" He thought something had happened to the mic.
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, this is going to be a hard one." He goes, for both of us, it's okay. So I think that's the longest vocal session I've ever had to get through.
But the emotion comes through.
Yeah.
And I mean, singing is emotion, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
So you got to have you got to have that.
You do. Yes. You just don't want to have it so much that you're like blubbering on your record.
All right, controlled emotion.
Controlled emotion.
Let's say that.
Yeah, I had to find the balance.
You have such a beautiful voice, and it's so smooth. What a wonderful instrument. I want to talk more about, since I got one of the best vocal coaches in Nashville here, I want to talk a little bit more about taking care of your vocal instrument and maybe some exercises and things like that. Are you up for that?
Absolutely.
Let's take a little break. Hannah Andrews is our guest. Don't go away.
You're listening to the Songwriter Connection with Dave Linehan. Find us on Facebook and YouTube at the Songwriter Connection Podcast. And find Dave at thedaveconnection.com. Now back to the show with your host, Dave Linehan.
At daveconnection.com, Jill just redesigned that for me and makes it look so great. God bless you, Jill Pavel. We love you.
Yes.
Yeah. Hannah's our guest, and before we get back with her, I want to remind this. I always remind you, if you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe, because that helps us more than you ever know, and keep spreading the words. You know, we're like we're approaching 3 million streams now. Again, by the time this podcast comes out, this particular episode, and I just have you to thank for that. I'm just so happy about that. And I also want to just a little plug for our playlist. We have a Spotify playlist, and it's called Songwriter Connection, the songs. So every Wednesday when we publish, I also take some time to put on a couple of songs from that artist on that playlist, so you can listen to all the artists of all the people that we've recorded over the years. So check that out too, if you will. Hannah Andrews is our guest today, and she is an amazing artist, singer-songwriter, but also the CEO of the Vocal Academy here in Nashville.
Yes.
Tell me about that organization. And first of all, you went to Belmont University.
I did.
Where you studied vocal, right?
Yes,
Performance.
yes, I studied vocal performance. Yes, I graduated with my degree in commercial voice. I had a record deal right out of college. I went full force into that. Lost that deal, as we do as young artists.
Their loss, not yours.
Thank you. I think so. Kind of a smarmy CEO of that label. It was for the best. And I worked some corporate-y jobs. I was always a really, focused go-getter personality. So I worked as a personal assistant to a CEO of a big company, learned a lot from watching him. And I just realized, like, gosh, I've got this degree and I don't want to be in corporate America. It just wasn't for me. And
unless it's your own corporation.
Unless it's my own, exactly. And he actually was the one that said, "Why don't you teach?" And I was 24 years old at that time, and I said, "Teach? Who's going to listen to me?" He said, "There's people that are older than you that don't have your experience or your degree."
Correct.
And so I started my first vocal studio at that time, and I had an office on Music Row.
Wow.
And I got a little keyboard and I started to teach, and I charged like $40 for a lesson, and I was just kind of figuring it out. And shortly thereafter, maybe only a year or so after, my now husband, then boyfriend, and I picked up and moved to LA. And
Really?
that's where, I was there for 9 years, and I really built my vocal studio there. So I was working with The Voice, I was working with MTV, I was working with a lot of the big studios out there. And that's, really where I became the coach, I think, that I am. And it's also where I really cut my teeth as a performer. I put my first band together. LA was an incredible chapter for me that way.
Yeah.
And then moved back to Nashville and started my business again. Thankfully, at that time, we were, Zoom lessons and Skype all were sort of becoming a thing. And then when the pandemic hit, and we all moved to an online format for a while, I thought, gosh, what else could I do with this? And obviously I wasn't touring. Everything was quiet, right? Yeah. We were all home.
It's a good time to just reflect.
Reassess.
Reassess. And that's how we started this podcast.
There you go. Okay. Yeah. It was, I think it was a very hard time. There's no doubt. But I think for creatives, you had to really reassess because you couldn't do the things that you were used to doing. Yeah. And so I joined up with my now business partner, and the Vocal Academy started as an online course. We filmed and released an online singing course. And the idea was just making it accessible to people that were stuck at home during the pandemic that wanted to sing and create an online community. And as we came out of COVID, people were sort of not seeking that out as much. Everybody was kind of ready to get back in person. And I said to my business partner, I said, what if we start bringing on coaches? What if the Vocal Academy becomes a place that becomes known in Nashville for the best coaches, the best performance opportunities, the best training, and the best vocal community that we can build, because it's lonely to be an artist, and it can feel like it is very competitive, and in its competitiveness, it can be isolating. Yeah. And that's what we did. We've now got 4 coaches in the Vocal Academy. I would proudly say some of the best teachers you're ever going to find. We do community events all the time. We've got one tomorrow. We've got showcases in the fall. We do writers rounds for our students. So
I love it.
It's great. It's so great. And it was really about making it bigger than me. And there's only so many hours in a day that I can teach. I tour. I'm also an artist. So expanding that beyond myself, mentoring not only my students, but people that want to coach, that want to come in. And so my goal for the Vocal Academy is for it to be the number one place that you think of when you want vocal training in this town, and really anywhere, because we can teach online. But I believe we're on our way to doing that.
Building that top of the mind awareness.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
That's really fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you get an artist. Let's say you get a new person that's always wanted to sing.
Yeah.
And where do you start?
Where do you start?
You get somebody like my age. Listen, I'm retired now, and I want to decide I want to sing.
Yeah.
What do you do?
We actually get a lot of people like that.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Yes, absolutely. Because
us baby boomers, we grew up on it.
You grew up doing that, and now you have time. Right? So we get a lot of people who are retired. They have the means and the time now to do it. And, I think, and those are actually some of my favorite students.
Are they?
Yes, because there's joy. Yeah. We love to work with the artists. Obviously, that's for any vocal coach. That's like your main kind of demographic. But it's all very serious and very focused. And like, we're getting a record deal. We're going on tour. We've got studio dates, right? Yeah. When you get the people that are like, I just would love to sing a little easier. I'm a songwriter. I would like to do an open mic. I'd like to just sing and feel like I'm happy with what comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Those are some of the most fun lessons. And so really, the technical answer to that is we start with a little vocal assessment. I take a listen. We kind of see what's going on. I hear from you what your challenges are, what you believe your challenges to be when you're singing. And we just start. I say to everybody, I'm a personal trainer for the smallest group of muscles in your body. They can get stronger and learn just like everything else. Wow. So if you're going to go and you're going to decide to run a marathon and you've never run before, it's going to suck for a hot second. And that's okay, right? Yeah. But if you've got your trainer with you, they're going to know when to push you, they're going to know when to protect you, and they're going to know how to help you so like you don't hurt yourself, you do it the right amount of time every week. And that's what we do as coaches, It's a complicated instrument, and it's a very straightforward instrument as well. But you don't know what you don't know. And if someone's not there to help you.
I think you don't know what you can do.
Yes.
Sometimes you think, I can't sing. It's never going to work for me.
Yeah.
But I find myself sometimes now, having been coached a little bit, doing a round or doing a show, and I hit a note that I never thought I could hit. Absolutely. I know 5 years ago I couldn't hit that note.
I believe you, because you've gotten stronger.
Yeah.
And it's exactly that. And I tell people, it's exactly like starting any physical undertaking. You're not going to be strong at first, and you're going to put one foot in front of the other, and you're going to be like, I'm not sure if I'm getting any better at this. And then you'll go to do it, and you'll realize, I am getting better. I just hit a note I've never been able to hit, and it felt good, and it was easy.
You go, wow, where did that come from?
Yeah.
And you're making progress.
You're making progress. Yeah.
And it's more than just your vocal cords, isn't it? It starts with the diaphragm and a good breath, and
it's a full body experience.
Full body experience.
It really is. You've got breath support. You've got the whole vocal mechanism working. It's really, and it's about activating certain muscle groups and then relaxing the rest of your body. And that's difficult to do, because as human beings, we hold tension almost everywhere that requires the voice to be loose.
Especially when you got an audience watching.
Yes, exactly. Your neck, your shoulders, your back, all these places. So it's about activating the right things and letting go of the things that think they're helping. They have good intentions, but they need to just be released, And
if you're not using it correctly, you can lose it.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Every time I get a little hoarse when I'm singing, I'll go, you're not breathing right. You're not using your whole voice. You're stuck in your throat.
Yep.
Take a little something to drink, take a breath, 3 songs, and then start again. You just really have to learn how your voice is, don't you?
You got to take care of it. It's a living instrument. Yeah. It doesn't go in a case at the end of the day. If you're tired, it's tired.
Back in January, I had a little cold, and I lost my voice, and it really it was probably the longest time that I couldn't get rid of the hoarseness. and I had shows, so I had to go on. I found throat coat tea, which is amazing stuff, right?
Yeah.
And eventually I got it back, but I remember doing a whole show up in Bowling Green, and I was just really frustrated, but I did it anyway, and I got through it. And I'm thinking, this is how you could really destroy your voice, right?
We all have to do that, though. I mean, we've all had to sing sick. It's part of the deal. But it's really about ensuring that you just rehab properly and you hydrate and you do all the things you're supposed to do, and you rest when you don't have to be singing or speaking.
Yeah.
There was something that went around this year. I had quite a few students that got hit with it that had their voices gone for way longer than they normally did. Yeah. So I don't know what that was, but it got a few people.
It got me.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it was 3-4 weeks, good 3-4 weeks.
Yes,
before
I believe
got it back.
Yeah, it's so frustrating.
You get worried. I start thinking, is it ever going to come back?
I know you do. You give the kids a lot of fatigue and anxiety, and my students too. I'm never going to be able to sing again. I know it. I'm like, we're going to be fine. Just one day at a time.
Are there any vocal exercises that you can talk about that maybe make us better singers?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I've got a file of facts in my brain of vocal exercises. It's updated me, didn't it?
No, that's not what I was laughing at. It just sounded good together. File of facts.
A file of facts in my brain.
I love alliteration.
Oh, thank you. Okay, good. Yeah, there's several. So some of the easy things that you can do, especially if you are feeling hoarse, is you can do something called lip trills or bubble rolls.
I've seen people do that. I always wondered what that did.
Yeah, so they're a wonderful feedback mechanism. So if you don't have enough air or you have too much tension in your mechanism, a bubble roll is not going to come out. It's going to get kind of stuck. So in order for that to loosely and freely move, you've got to have good flow of air. You've got to have relaxed muscles, relaxed neck, relaxed jaw. It's also great because it's going to take your vocal folds and it's going to kind of slap them together like this, and they're going to loosen up and move. There's going to mucus will knock off of there and all that those good bodily functions. So lip trills, bubble rolls, it's interchangeable. They mean the same thing.
Wow.
Great.
I always wondered why people did that. And so it really, really helps.
Give it a try.
Do not feel silly about doing that.
No,
just do it.
Do it, Dave.
Yeah.
Do it.
I don't know if I can. I can't.
We'll work on it. We'll work on it off the mic.
Off the mic. I'm so embarrassed.
No, they're actually hard. They're deceptively difficult.
They're hard.
Yes, they are. Yeah,
they really are.
But they're really good. It's a good sign that okay, I need to loosen up the jaw maybe a little and get the breath going. I'll show you after.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. But when you talk about the mechanism, there's a lot of parts to that. Yeah. So describe when you mean the mechanism of your voice.
Yes. So you've got your larynx, which encapsulates the vocal folds. You've got musculature interesting.
You know what? That is always the way I heard it was pronounced.
Larynx.
A lot of people say larynx.
Don't you dare say larynx to me.
I remember. It's larynx.
It's larynx.
It really is.
Yes, it is. If there's a vocal teacher calling it the larynx or the larynx, walk away.
Walk away.
So you've got your larynx, and then there's musculature around the vocal folds. So the vocal folds themselves, vocal cords as they're commonly known, themselves don't actually have any nerves in them at all. They don't move independently, and you can't feel them.
Really?
Which is really interesting. So your vocal folds resonate at about 440 vibrations a second. So if you could feel like a guitar string. So if you could feel that, you would be like...
So we tune in 440, don't we?
Yes.
Yes. Isn't that really
So you've got musculature around the vocal folds that is actually responsible for moving them. So you've got that musculature, you've got your larynx, you've got the tongue, you've got the lips, you've got this entire set of parts of the body. Your articulators, exactly, your resonators, all these different things.
Yes, your nose, all your sinuses.
That's right. Yes.
Right? Oh.
You got, look at you.
Yeah.
You're hired.
No, I remember I didn't take vocal lessons, but I studied speech pathology in school, and I was really interested in it.
It is really interesting, isn't it?
It really is.
Very complex, and in that it's really fascinating, how the voice works.
And sometimes what I found in learning a new song, where to take the breath.
Yeah.
And if you don't take it in the right place, you can run out.
Yes, you can.
Breath and it...
Yeah.
Yeah. That's immersion. Yeah.
Well, that's why you have such a lovely speaking voice.
Well.
You have a lovely speaking voice.
Well, thank you for that.
You do.
You too.
Thank you.
You had a lovely singing voice.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So that's all good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll tell you, one of the things that when you were talking about lips, your articulators, I think it's so important, and especially I go to a lot of writers' rounds because I love songs and I love hearing the songwriters sing their songs.
Yeah.
And I think it's real important as a songwriter to be able to sing your songs and to sell them, because you never know who's listening when you're there at a round.
Yes.
And I think it's really important to articulate what you are singing.
Yes.
It is so frustrating listening in the audience when I can't understand a darn word you said.
Yeah.
And I can maybe hear some great tones and stuff, but you're just not articulating the songs.
You're losing the story.
The words.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Make those words come to life. Move. I used to tell my students in broadcasting, move your lips.
Move your lips. Open your mouth.
Open your mouth.
Yes.
One of the first vocal lessons I ever taught, and she was showing me pictures of great singers, and I'll never forget. One of them was Steven Tyler.
Oh, yeah.
And how open his mouth was.
Yes.
And how big, and she goes, that if you want to hit those notes, that's what you have to learn to do is open your mouth. And it made a big difference. I didn't understand that.
Yeah, it's incredible actually, and you'll say to singers like, "Oh, open your mouth," and the thing is, you're like, I am opening my mouth. You think, no, you have so much more room to go.
Yes, you
and
do.
then they actually open their mouth, and then they're like, "Oh my gosh,
Did I just do that?
I just made all that sound." Yeah, it's your speaker, and if it's too small, and it's you don't need to do that for everything.
It's your speaker,
but it's your speaker.
I've never heard it put that way, but you're right.
Yeah,
that's your speaker.
Yeah, so it's got so sometimes it does need to come down, but when you want a big old powerful note, it's got to open up.
That's so important. You talk about that in dynamics. I think is so important. There's a singer that I love to watch, and she's been on this podcast. Her name is Sarah Kelly. Okay. And she has this amazing ability to with dynamics to make it soft when she needs to, and then make it big. I think dynamics is really important in selling a song, don't you?
Absolutely. Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, dynamics are part of the storytelling. I mean, if you're in a really intimate, sweet part of the song and you're just lambasting your way through it, then, and vice versa, if it's time to kick the power in and you don't have the ability to do that, your song is you're gonna miss a part of the messaging, Yeah, it's important, and a lot of that's done in training, so you know how to do it.
This is such valuable information. I thank you for that, Hannah.
Thank you.
If people want to find out more about your organization, tell me where.
Go to thevocalacademy.co. That's got all of our information on it, and you can book a free call with me on that website, and I'd be happy to answer your questions. And if you wanted to go into lessons, place you with a coach.
Vocalacademy.co.
You got it.
No M on the
No
end.
Nope.
That's great. Yeah. Let's get back to your songs and your songwriting. Okay, it is a songwriter podcast. We want to play Means More Now.
Yes.
What an intriguing title.
Thank you.
Tell me about this song. Get Under the Hood.
Get Under the Hood. Means More Now. That just released in May. So that's very new as well. I wrote that with James Kelly and Ryan Nelson. So this was a fun one because this was one of those songwriting sessions that I went into and I didn't have an idea. I didn't come in like, I want to write. Sometimes I'm very much like, this is what I want. Grandma's hands. This is what we're writing today.
Yeah.
But this one, we were all kind of sharing hooks. Oh, what about this? Oh, da, da, da. And James said, I have this hook, Means More Now. And his idea, if I remember it now, is, he was kind of thinking about, going through a breakup and, all the things that meant more in the breakup. And as it sort of percolated, to use your word, and marinated, it sort of morphed into the idea of the things that are said to you and taught to you in your life that don't mean much to you when they're said, but they mean more as you go through your life. And the concept of just all the advice. And so we started to go kind of round robin, like, what's advice you got as a kid that you were just like, whatever. And then you're an adult and then you're sitting there with it and you're like, yeah.
I can so identify.
And so we all sort of like took turns at the advice we got. And it's really funny. The first line of the song is, don't break two laws at the same time. That was Ryan's line. And I said, somebody gave you that advice? He goes, it's good advice. He goes, if you're going to be speeding, don't be drinking. Don't break two laws at the same time.
Interesting concept.
I thought so too. So that's how the whole song opens. I loved it. I was like, that's great. And then, we all kind of, sort of came into that, and it just morphed into this. And I'll tell you what, I sent this to my husband, who's heard every song I've ever written, who is my biggest cheerleader and my most honest critic in a way that I thank him for every day, because I do not want yes people around me, even my husband. And I sent him the work tape on this one, and he responded and he said, this might be the best thing you've ever written.
Wow.
And now I was putting a lot of pressure on the song. And I don't know that I thought of it that way, but from his perspective, as he was producing it, he was like, it just has a something for me as a listener. He's like, this is one of my favorites you've ever done.
Wow.
And I said, don't tell grandma.
With that, let's give it a listen. Okay. This is Hannah Anders, our guest on the Songwriter Connection podcast. Means more now. Does.
Thank you.
And your voice is so pure and so smooth.
Thank you.
It's just amazing.
Thank you so much.
I just love the sound.
Thank you.
It's just really, really good. And your husband is one heck of a producer.
He's incredible. Let's shout out Mike Cleveland on fiddle and mandolin on that song.
Wow.
Chris Condon on the guitar, Caleb Mundy on the bass. Musicians, I want to make sure I shout them out because...
Absolutely.
Mike Cleveland's probably one of the best mandolin and fiddle players ever. And we finished the song and my husband was like, I want to get Mike on it. And he just came in with these little tasty, which you
were.
Just,
I picked it up.
Yeah, and I just thought, I want to shout him out because he came in and just put a few little tasty pieces.
Just
enough.
Yeah,
yeah.
Cherry on the.
That's it.
On the whipped cream.
That's it.
It's just so good.
Yeah, he's so good.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
You know, I mentioned you. we need to talk more about your songwriting, because what's really cool is I read somewhere that you were chosen to write a song for Dodge Ram trucks.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's got to be a cool story behind that.
I'm going to tell you that was a few years ago. I was living in LA when that happened, and they were running a competition sweepstakes to win a trip to Nashville.
Oh, wow.
And it might have been for CMA Fest or it was for something like that. And it was based out of an Atlanta ad agency. And that's where I grew up. Outside of Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And I want to say that somebody from my childhood who knew the ad rep for Dodge said, "Oh, well, you should reach out to this artist, Hannah." And they did. Wow. And they said, we need you to write a song for, this is what we need to do. We need to write this kind of ad campaign song as a Nashville sweepstakes. We're going to give away a whole trip to Nashville and some money and the whole thing. And I was like, all right. So sat down with my husband, and I'll tell you what's so funny is I thought really long and hard about the lyrics, and I kept thinking all right, I'm in a Dodge Ram, and what am I thinking about? And I'm envisioning this man going to work, and his hands are calloused up, and what's on his dashboard, and I put all this thought, and then the whole sweepstakes was just instrumental.
No.
They just picked all the instrumental was so cool. My husband did such a good job, and I was like, dang, I thought so hard about that guy driving his truck, But I've actually wondered if I should go back and release the song.
I was just going to ask you.
Yeah, I haven't, but man, I thought about that guy.
The tracks must be just amazing.
They're amazing. I mean, and you get why, because they've got all this Dodge Ram, going over the top, right? So they picked the instrumental sections, which makes complete sense to me. But as a songwriter, I saw the ad go out, and I was like, oh man.
So needless to say, you won the sweepstake, though, didn't you? Or did you?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know who won it.
I don't know.
I don't know.
They used your song, right?
They used my song, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was the only one hired to write for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was just hired to write it, and then they put it out, and then people could apply to win the sweepstakes. I don't actually know who won that trip. I hope they had a great time.
Well, I hope they did too. Maybe you're coaching them now and you don't even know.
Maybe so. That would be cool.
Well, we got time for one more song, and I want to hear all about Southern Free. As soon as I saw the title, it's really important as a songwriter to pick a title that makes people want to know more about the song.
Yes.
And I need to know about Southern Free.
All right, I'm going to tell you. I was living in LA. I was missing home. Aww. And I loved LA, but it's a different world.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Sat down with my then guitar player in my band, he's from Arkansas, and I was like, let's write a song about the differences between being from the South and living in LA. Yeah. And it kind of started out as a parody. We're like, all right, what are all the stereotypes of LA? Well, we got the Real Housewives, we got traffic, we got spray tans, we got long lines of girls, waiting to get into a cool nightclub, right? Okay, what about the South? What stereotypes? Well, we party in fields, and we wear cutoff jeans, and we line dance, and we right? Okay, so we started to kind of come up, and the song became, for me, this sort of anthemic feeling of what it feels like. And I say this when I tour overseas, because this is one of their favorite ones that I play. You don't need to be from the South. It is the feeling that you get when you live a life of authenticity, and you feel free in your day to day, and you're not encumbered by all the nonsense. And so on paper, it's a funny comparison song, but at its heart, it's just about live your life, have a good time.
I love it.
Southern Free.
Southern Free. Here we go. Hannah Anders on our Songwriter Connection podcast. It's got a fun song.
Busy suits and OC housewives spend cash trying to make their fancy lives seem better than yours. The Southern Bells and a Wrangling cowboys spend time living a quiet come to our party?
I'm there. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Okay.
Great song.
Thank you.
It's got that Aerosmith kind of feel. The girl can rock, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We've got a medley we do in our live set that has like AC/DC in it and the Eagles. And yeah,
Cool.
I love a good rock moment.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Very, very, very nice. Listen, I want to thank you for taking time to be on our show.
Thank you for having me,
How can
Dave.
people find you out there? Where to look for you?
Yep. So website is hannahanders.com. I recently saw the best way to spell Hannah. Someone said, it's 2 of everything, darling.
2 H's, 2 A's, 2 N's.
You got it.
There you go.
hannahanders.com. All my social media is Hannah Anders Music. And it is
Where's
me.
the Vocal Academy, too?
And the vocalacademy.co if you want to talk about lessons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you for
Thanks,
sharing
Dave. Thank
all of your
you.
knowledge with us today.
Oh, you're so welcome.
And folks at home, write on and sing on.
We hope you enjoyed this intimate glimpse into the world of songwriting and found inspiration in the stories shared by our talented guests. Remember, the magic of music lies not only in the notes and chords, but in the emotions and experiences woven into every lyric. Until next time, keep listening, keep creating, and keep the melodies alive.